Buffalo has everything to like lay it on the line. This is the year where they truly feel like we are out there. We want to go and win a championship for the city because there's just so much at stake here. One of the big storyline that I think really a lot of is going into the season is the fact that this is the final year at their current stadium, Highmark Stadium. It's been their home since the 70s, and there have been like so many great moments from the early days with the juice is loose to the 80s with the start of Jim Kelly and the K-Gun offense, and then the 90s, the uh, no huddle offense, four Super Bowl appearances, and so many other great memories that the hardships of the 2000s and just into this year, the Josh Allen era. I've been to so many games at Highmark Stadium, and let me tell you, they are unlike any other. The tailgating experience is unlike any other. So obviously, like the Bills want to end this season, they want to end their final year at Highmark Stadium on a high note, and to that many people, that means only just a Super Bowl trophy. Now, I understand with like how Bills fans have their frustrations. Obviously, the big one being that the defense, is it gonna like live up to its expectations? Well, like we definitely seem to have like better things going with our defense. We brought in Joey Bosa on a 1-year deal. I think this is a good signing. It's good to have Matt Milano back. He's making some really good plays. Last year, of course, that like while he was recovering from his torn ACL, he was also recovering from a torn bicep and had to miss a good chunk of the season. But I think having him back at this point is a very good plus. I think we definitely have a very good front seven. I like the fact that we extended Terrell Bernard. I like the fact that we extended Christian Benford. I've been seeing that Tre'Davious White's been having some good moments in training camp as well. It's obviously a bummer that Maxwell Harrison, he was off to a pretty good start, and now we're still waiting on him to be cleared. He went down a few weeks into camp with sprained LCL. It's definitely better considering that like Circle the Wagons podcast falsely reported that it was a torn ACL, and good thing that it wasn't. But I think definitely the defense can still I think our defense still looks like on paper it's still a good unit, and I think there's obviously got to be some better things that changes need to be made. Like the soft coverage zone defense obviously needs some better adjustments. I think something that my grandfather says is that Sean McDermott obviously needs to trust more of the defensive schemes to his defensive coordinator Bobby Baddick, and regardless on how whether or not that is, that just remains to be seen. I am mostly keen with two guys in particular, Keon Coleman and Dalton Kincaid. Keon Coleman showed incredible promise last year. He had 29 receptions for 556 yards and 4 receiving touchdowns. He was obviously off put a little bit with he missed 4 games due to injury, and he still showed like incredible capability. He really showed that he was that guy that could really be physical with the one-on-one like defenses. Obviously, like the big issue is of course like him creating separation, but I think it's really that's not what we intended him to be for. Like we want him to be that guy that can just go and win those one-on-ones. And we've obviously seen in the offseason, we saw him like come in, he's put on a bit more muscle. He's also been making a lot of good plays, like trying to be better as a blocker. And I think he's definitely got the makings to really just take further steps in. And I know that like some Bills fans were probably thinking of, I'm not saying that they're saying it was a bad idea to take him instead of Xavier Worthy, but obviously I still think Worthy's a good player, but I think it's going to look like Coleman's still got a lot to prove, and I think he's definitely got the most potential makings for a breakout season. Now, one other guy I wanted to mention was simply Dalton Kincaid, third-year tight end. Definitely had a regressed after his promising rookie season. I mean, he's been having a pretty good training camp, had some good moments in some of the first couple preseason games. But if there was ever a time for him to have a breakout year, it be now. Like he knows that like this is the year he needs to prove himself that he is worthy of an extension, or at least like just still be a solid tight end number two. Because I know some people were thinking that he was going to be tight end number one. I never really thought about it too much, but obviously Dalton Kincaid, he needs to be more efficient in the receiving game. He obviously needs to be more effective in like the slot running, and really just be. I think at this moment now, he really is in need of a breakout year, but I think he's definitely capable of doing that. Now, obviously, I think for me this year, I think Buffalo's record, best case scenario, I would say our best record possible for the regular season is 14-3. I would say, or maybe 13-4, because I think there are definitely like a lot of games that I feel like are a bit toss-ups. That home opener we have against the Baltimore Ravens, to me, feels like a toss-up. It can go either way. Same thing with like the game against the Eagles, the Bengals. The Bengals have our number, but in the past couple of years. But really, I think this is the year that Buffalo could actually like knock them off, because I think like Cincinnati, they still got a really good team with Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins. But let's not forget, like the only reason they didn't make it into the playoffs was because their defense was just awful. Now, going back into the Eagles, I think that's definitely going to be a tough game, considering that to me they're the most complete team in the NFL on both offense and defense. But really, it's going to be a very interesting season for Buffalo, and I am hoping that this is the year we finally get over the hump. We finally get past those stinking Chiefs and make it to the Super Bowl.